if you know, convalescent plasma therapy, as it is called, has been something that has been known for the last 1 century. It is not something new. Now, the WHO about a decade back approved it for during pandemics. And thereafter, it has been something that has got the attention of the globe, at least at a point of time of crisis. Now, over the last 1 year, and I'm saying this because we initiated the phase 1/2 clinical trial first time in the country at HCG, along with the support of Victoria Hospital with the government of Karnataka. And thereafter, the government of India made it as an off-the-label use drug. We've been at the front end of setting up the first plasma bank across the state and in the country to actually build SOPs, plans on how to run this plasma bank. And we've been in touch with international bodies to understand this. Across the globe, there is a lot of current literature available, which is talking about the importance of plasma and the need for a protocol to use it. Now, if you see published studies that have recently been published on its efficacy from the New England Journal of Medicine, one of the most reputed journals, or from the Mayo Clinic proceedings, a recent meta-analysis that shows that it reduces mortality, deaths, the length of stay, as well as the need for oxygen. So why is there still a controversy on this? There are a few key reasons, and that's very important. And the most relevant one for discussion is the ICMR study that said from the British Medical Journal that plasma did not work. So what is the reason for this kind of a discrepancy? The most important thing, Gopi, that one needs to understand is the reason for this discrepancy is that if you give plasma, which has got no antibodies, it is like giving saline. This is very, very important to understand that plasma from a person who has recovered after 1 month and within 3 months will have high antibodies, and you should check for the antibodies first. Now, how do you check for the antibodies? It is very, very crucial that the plasma bank that you're going to take the plasma from is genuinely telling you that, look, we've checked for this many antibodies. And that is very, very crucial. So how do you check it at HCG? We use a very standardized Vitros assay platform, which looks at antibodies. This is what the US FDA has approved for, and this is something which Mayo and other studies used in. This particular Vitros assay platform gives antibodies, and we look at 6+. So we look at plasma which has got at least 6 times higher antibodies than a baseline, in which case it is considered high. And then we only give those particular plasmas which have high antibodies, number one. So it's very, very important for somebody to understand that unless your antibodies are very high, there is no use of giving plasma, and that is what the ICMR study showed, because in that study, they took out plasma from people who were asymptomatic. Now, asymptomatic people typically will not have any antibodies in their blood. The question is why? Because when the virus enters the nose, it enters into the lungs, but does not enter into the blood. When it enters into the blood is when fever comes in, and that's the time at which antibodies are produced. If you have no antibodies, naturally it is like giving water or saline to a person. There is going to be no use of giving plasma. So there has to be standardization on the way a plasma bank should actually take the plasma from the donor, measure the antibodies, look at authenticated high antibodies, and only then give plasma. If it is going to be given without antibodies, absolutely there is going to be no use, and I agree with it. And that is what a lot of studies did when they randomly took plasma from people, from donors, and gave it to somebody else. In the last pandemic, supported by the state government of Karnataka, supported by the BBMP, the municipal corporation, supported by several hundreds of hospitals across Karnataka and outside of Karnataka, we were able to give 1,200 plasmas in the last pandemic. And we had our own audited report of which we were analyzing from various hospitals that we got from, like we interacted with Dr. Ravi Mehta from Apollo, who has shared his aspect of study, and several such hospitals. We got an overall response rate of up to 60%, which is with all standard medical interventions also. So what we are saying is, yes, we need to do an attempt, we need to do an effort, and we need to be logical, scientific, ethical. Now in this, there is a need for standardization of how to measure antibodies. So we went one step further. So Professor Sandhya Vishwesvaraya from the Indian Institute of Science collaborated with us and supported us to understand how do we come to know that the antibodies that we are saying which is high, which is the IgG antibodies, are correlating with the neutralizing antibody titers. Now at this juncture, what is important to understand is that what are these neutralizing antibody titers? Now, here one needs to understand that neutralizing antibody titers are the real antibodies that actually kill the virus. Now, in India, overall, today we do not test for neutralizing antibody titers because it requires a BSL-3 facility, which hardly a few labs have, and you need a live virus to test it. So which means you use the live virus in those areas and you put the plasma and you look at the dilution and check at what dilution does the virus get killed. 1:80 is what is considered to be a basic line. So Indian Institute of Science conducted a small study here to check if our antibodies that our patients have donated, which we considered at HCG was high antibodies, was it correlating with high antibody neutralizing antibody titers. And through this small study, what they found out was all the donors that we put in 6+ had very high neutralizing antibody titers. And thus, we were able to show in this small study that if you give plasma, not only does it have high antibody titers, but it also has high neutralizing antibody titers of the capacity to kill the virus. And we also checked it in some patients wherein after giving the plasma, that these patients had following that high antibodies again before the transfusion, after the transfusion. Now we are in the process of publishing this work, but what I wanted to communicate through this is something well known. The Mayo Clinic data, the data from 1 lakh odd patients, the data from several studies that have been published have clearly shown that high antibody titers is mandatory if you want to have effect. At this juncture, the criteria is very clear. In moderate, severe or critical patients, plasma can be tried. Plasma is like saline. Yes, naturally in certain very critical patients, the intensivist will guide us and tell us whether they would want to try it or not based on pulmonary functions and other criteria, but that's something at a broader level. But what I want to tell you is that today in moderate, severe or critical patient, it is worthwhile trying plasma provided these two criteria are met. Now, like I told you, typically when I said within 3 days of oxygen requirement means it is not critical. It must be in the moderate group. And in this moderate group, as they're going towards the severe group, you need to stop them. But nonetheless, for me today, if you're asking me as a doctor, and today I am sitting in a cancer hospital where there are cancer COVID patients, what is my first responsibility towards the patient and their family? Is it not to try and save a life? And why would I not want to make that attempt? To give you a few instances, we had a senior cardiologist who was breathless, who was critical, who would have been shifted to the ICU and then into a ventilator. At that timely intervention, they asked us for plasma. We measured the high antibodies and immediately gave him the plasma. The next day, he started to recover. By the 3rd, 4th day, he was in the ward stable. Sometime later, we met him and he told us, look, the day when we realized remdesivir was not working was the day I thought I may not make it. Thanks to plasma, I came out and I'm now recovering. And I could feel that the day the plasma went in, by the evening I was feeling better.